I am the alpha, I am the omega, I am the beginning, I am the end. And then I was talking about how reality is kind of like, I said liquid reality, right? And it's like a lucid dream. And if any of you have ever seen the movie Inception, they get a little more into this there. And basically what I was channeling was about, from that movie, they mentioned whenever you are having a dream, and I'm talking about when you are asleep, you just kind of end up inside that dream, right? There's no beginning of the dream. There's no end of the dream. You're just in the dream, right? The beginning and the end are kind of irrelevant, okay? Because it's about the experience. And as to my knowledge, this whole 3D Earth Matrix thing that we're piloting these avatars around in, and we're having these experiences as, is also a virtual reality dream. Okay, so it's like a high-tech lucid dream. And if you are familiar with lucid dreams, you understand that when you're sleeping and then you're having a dream, you realize that you are having a dream, you awaken within the dream, and then you can kind of, maneuver in the dream as you want to, such as, I want to see water. You see water, you're like, I'm gonna go to the beach, I go to the beach, I'm gonna go to the desert, you go to the desert, XYZ, ABC. So they talk about this in the movie Inception. And the reason why I compared this to the reality as more proof, kind of, if you want to take it like that, at least as, my opinion, is that you do not fucking remember, like, just like you're in a dream and you're in this scene, and then all of a sudden the scene changes, and it's like, it seems to you like it's a new dream, but it's just like the scenery changed. To me, that's like all the possibilities in the quantum field, right? You don't know how you got there, just like you can imagine a scene in your mind right now of you sipping a fucking chocolate milkshake on the top of Mount Everest, and you can envision that right now in your mind, but how did you get there, right? You just went directly to the scene, boom, it appears. So when you were born, okay, when anyone was fucking born, do you remember being born? I'll wait. Actually, I'm not, because I don't think anyone is going to be able to sit there and tell me exactly they remember when they were born. They are going to maybe recite what they have heard from another source about the details of their birth, the time, the date, whatever, the circumstances. But for them to have that first person narrative of, I was born and then this is what happened and then that's what happened, I have yet to meet someone who has told me in detail their birth story from their own first person perspective, okay? Just like when someone dies. No one that I know has come back from the dead and say, okay, this is what happens when you die and then XYZ, ABC, right? And I'm not talking about no NDE. I got into this too on the live stream. I was like, a near-death experience does not mean that you fucking died. It means you neared death, okay? If I have my hand near the cookie jar, that does not mean that my hand is in the cookie jar grabbing a fucking cookie that I'm gonna eat it, right? It doesn't mean that. It means that it's near it. So don't even give me any of that, because this is not what I'm talking about. So no one can say for certain what happened when they were born. No one can say for certain what happened when they died, right? It's just not something that is in anyone's awareness. Similar to that of when you're in a dream, when you're sleeping, you don't know how the fuck you got there. You're just in the middle of a fucking timeline and it's enacting out. Whether you become lucid in the dream or whether it's a dream that you just recall when you wake up from that slumber, you were just in the middle of it. There's no beginning and there's no end. But what did I just say? I said, I am the alpha, I am the omega, I am the beginning, I am the end, right? So what does that mean? It means that the beginning and the end are already written into that experience. It's already written into that experience. And here is what I mean by that, okay? When you say something, I am a multimillionaire, you are declaring the end. The end result is that you are a multimillionaire. You're declaring it now, but you don't know how it's going to happen and unfold, much like you don't know how you were born in those circumstances from the first person narrative, and you don't know the circumstances of how it's going to play out to you in that dream. And technically there is no end, right? It's just your current goalpost, which we're going to call the end. You call the end from the beginning, but then, it's all interwoven into this one bracket. And they also talk about this in the movie Arrival with the heptapods in their language, which you want to call it science fiction, but in a lot of science fiction, in my opinion, they just show us how reality is constructed, but they're marketing it as fiction because, if the masses were really to awaken and like start going with all that shit, I mean, this Earth Matrix would be very different than it is now. But that's another topic for another time, maybe not. I am the alpha, I'm the omega, I'm the beginning, I'm the end. They're not talking about the middle, right? Because the middle is the experience. It's already done, right? So you're a millionaire. All of that is already written in the confines of the beginning and the end, which you declare. Because from your waking vantage point, if you want to call it that, you are declaring something from your now moment saying, this is what I want, right? You don't need to concern yourself with the middle because it's the experience that matters. It's not necessarily how you get from here to there. Just like when you are in a dream, you're not thinking, how did I end up in here? There's no, in the beginning was the word, and you like see the fucking intro credits, right? In the dream, it's just like, boom, you're smack in the middle of it. Just like when the dream ends, it just kind of switches scenery. You switch a timeline, right? Because the ending doesn't matter. You don't need a fucking end roll and end credits and this was produced by such and such, right? It switches into something else because it is irrelevant to how you get there, because the middle part is irrelevant because it's already interwoven in I am the beginning, I am the end. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm the alpha, I'm the omega. They're not talking about the middle because you're already in it. You're already in it once you make that declaration, just like you're already in that dream. You don't have an awareness maybe of even why you started desiring the thing that you desire now. And maybe a year from now, you're going to have another desire that you don't even know that's not in your awareness now, but a year from now in linear time, you're gonna be like, okay, I want that, right? So it doesn't matter about the middle because the middle is already written into the declaration of the end goalpost. And this is why in dreams you end up in the middle, because the middle is just the experience. It's like, I'm having this is what I'm doing. And then if you want to change your scene to another set point in the quantum field, field, you don't need to concern yourself with the how. You just say, from this now moment, I'm in the middle of this dream. As of right now, I'm sitting talking to you all, okay? I'm in the middle of a dream right now, just like you're in the middle of a dream watching this, okay? But the next goalpost, where is that? How is it going to unfold? When is it going to fold? No, you don't need to think that way. I'm the beginning, I'm the end, I'm the alpha, I'm the omega. You just go right into that next timeline, that switch in the quantum field. All of the timelines are available now, and time doesn't work the way that you would think it works in a linear fashion. That's just so your ego is interpreting things and saying, well, this sequence occurred because A happened, then B happened, then C happened. But that's not how it is. It works exactly like a dream. And this is why a lot of times where you are now, you might not even have any idea how you got there, right? Whenever you are being unfolded in a story, okay, there are significant juncture points that you remember, just like there are significant highlights in your mind that you think of, okay, I'm going to be a millionaire, cool, but you're not thinking necessarily of every single step that you're going to take along the way. You're just like, I'm going to be a millionaire, because for you to compute every single step that's going to take in, that you need to take or is going to be taken along the way, it's irrelevant, because everything is one. The beginning and the end and the middle are all the same thing. They're all the same dream, but you're not to concern yourself with that. You just say, this is the slide that I want to see next. Much like in a dream, you're just like, okay, that kind of just stopped. Now I'm going to go over here, because that's how you're selecting your reality. And it's been being shown to you in dreams the way that reality works. There's no beginning, there's no end. Just like you don't know the circumstances from the first person perspective of your birth. You don't know it from the first hand perspective of your death. And no one fucking does. No one does. Even with an NDE, yeah, that was their experience and it's valid to them, but they didn't die. They didn't just fully, okay, bye, they're out of a vessel, right? And then they told you this is what happens, this is the end. No, there's no end credits, there's no beginning credits. It's just, oh, I woke up here. Okay, cool. So you can look at that in the same perspective of you are choosing a slide in the quantum field, just like you change the scenery in a dream, right? You're like, okay, I want to experience this. Okay, cool. But then you want to experience that, but it seems like there's no cohesion. There's no like linear, logical way that it would play out. But if you were to just tune your focus there, tune your attention to that next slide in the quantum field that you want to experience, that is the end. You're calling it from the beginning, right? The alpha and the omega, but you're in the middle of it now because you are summoning it. And then you're saying, this is where I want to go. You're already in it. You're in that dream. But there's no telling how it's going to unfold, when it's going to unfold. Technically, if we want to think of it from like the manifestation perspective, it's already unfolded because you have it in your mind's eye now. And what keeps it from you and you from it in the 3D is your perception. You go into another slide, a place in space that's available in the quantum field, and you're saying, okay, I'm going to look over here. How is it unfolding? But that doesn't matter. This is why the point where you're at in your life right now, yes, I'm sure you have significant memories of things that have happened, but you might not remember the exact circumstances of how those things transpired in your reality. What exactly were you doing? It just kind of happened. You're like, whoa, how did I get here? And yes, you can look back on certain significant things, but likely the whole story you have no recollection of. It's simply that you, in that previous moment in time, which at that point in time, in linear time was your now moment, you were focused on something, right? You were summoning the end from the beginning, but you were already in the middle of it. You're already in the slide. You're already in the fucking dream, and you selected that slide inadvertently. And then everything, because it's one whole thing. It's like a fucking sandwich. You got the bread over here. You got the bread over here. You got the fucking meat in the fucking middle. It's all done. It's one fucking sandwich, right? I'm the beginning, I'm the end, the middle, but you're just in the middle, wherever the fuck you're at, because the beginning and the end are already written, but you're in the middle, and that's your experience. So you're not to necessarily concern yourself about the details of it, just like you didn't concern yourself with the details of your birth. How did you fucking get here? How did a portion of your consciousness animate this vessel, right? Like you're like, okay, it's like a mystery to you. So when you look back at moments in time, I guarantee you that even at this point, and you have all this awareness of how reality works and everything like that, you're sitting there and you're like, you know what? Like, I just remember thinking things significantly. So the things that you think significantly, you're calling and summoning the end from the beginning, and the middle is already made because it's all part of the same thing, right? It's all that one sandwich. It already has its own unfoldment, which you're already in the middle of, so you don't need to think about it because it already is. Just like you didn't need to think about the circumstances of your birth. It's just, it's already like, whoa, okay, here I am. So when you look at the things in the past that you have manifested, yes, you might be able to say logically, well, I thought this, but I thought that, but it wasn't even that you affirmed or you did anything. It's just that you held that fucking slide in that place in space in your mind for such a long time that it just transpired. And now looking back, you're like, well, I don't remember all the details. Like, and it's kind of hazy to you. Okay. So this is how I want you to look at reality. It is a high-tech virtual dream, obviously only if it resonates with you, but this is what resonates with me. And if you're still here at this point in the video, it fucking resonates with you too. Okay. At least a little bit. So you want to think of it. Dreams. When I dream at night, I am just in the middle of an experience. That's all it is. There's no beginning to it. There's no end to it. It just is. It's from my egoistic vantage point, looking at linear time, trying to make the puzzle pieces fit, trying to break down a segue of events to make it logically appear from this third dimensional vantage point that those things have happened. But the thing has already fucking happened because it already happened from the second I summoned it, because I'm in the middle of it, but I'm thinking that it hasn't happened yet because I'm summoning it from the beginning to the end, but I'm already in the middle because the now moment that you thought of the thing already passed. It already fucking passed. Every moment is going by now. So that moment is already done. The thing has already been written. The thing is already done. It is a slide available to you now, and I'll prove to you that's available to you now because you can think of it. You sitting on the top of Mount fucking Everest. Don't know why you'd want to do that, but if you want to fucking do that, you sipping a fucking chocolate milk on the top of Mount Everest. That's available to you now. Where's the beginning? Where's the end? I don't know. How'd you get there? Well, logically, I took a plane and I went to the Himalayas. And okay, yeah, fine. You want to do that, but Really, how did you get there? You just thought about it and then the thing unfolded in and of itself, because the middle portion is built in to that, and you're just selecting a different slide. And this is why you don't have to worry about what is happening in the middle, because you're already in the fucking middle of it. You declared you want $10 million in your bank account. You declared that 5 minutes ago. So that's already in your past, right? So that you declared the end, the millions of dollars in your bank account from that now moment. So you're already in the middle because you already declared that, and the thing has not been made manifest in the 3D for your two physical eyes to see yet. So you're in the middle. You're in the middle of the unfolding right fucking now. And how you spend your time in your mind, right? Because the 3D is all about fucking spending and time and investing, and this is taking too long and that's too fast and too old, too young, and all it's all about time, right? But you collapse the time by just selecting that frame in the dream, and you don't know how the fuck you got there, because it doesn't matter, because it's already been written. Because once you select that slide and you declared, okay, this is what I want, you select it, you're looking at the unfoldment is already happening, you're already inside it, just like the sandwich has already been made. You're like the meat in the fucking middle. You understand what I'm saying? But you don't know how you got there. And even once you get there, I guarantee you look at some of the shit that you've manifested and you're like, whoa, but how did it even happen? It's just kind of like a chain of events occurred and you just went with it. Liquid reality, you just declared the anchor point. Here you go, I'm looking at this reality, I'm selecting it on the screen. Okay, cool. Whatever's going on in the middle, it doesn't matter, because I'm already in the middle of it, because the middle is the fucking end goal. As is the first declaration of the end goal. It's all one thing. All of that you can imagine, it already has a process tied into it, how it unfolded. But your 3D mind is trying to interpret it and saying, well, this unfolded that way. And it doesn't matter, because since the thing is already done and it's already been unfolded, but you are trying to objectify, like, how did it happen, or in this amount of time it occurred. That's all your ego mind, right? But really what you're doing is just selecting a different slide, and you're saying, okay, this is already done. I'm aware that I'm in the dream, but I know that I'm the dreamer inside the dream. And this 3D life is really the most fucking insane virtual reality dream I've ever possibly imagined, right? I don't know how I was born. Like, logically you can say this or you can say that, right? But you have no recollection of that. So when you look at the things that you have manifested, likely you will not even recognize the parts that you don't deem as important. You don't deem it as super important, because that wasn't the slide you were looking at. You were looking at the slide of the thing already being done. Just like you drive into fucking Disneyland, you might know logically how you fucking got there. Oh, I took this highway and then I got off at this exit. But all the in between, oh, well, here is an exit and I saw a McDonald's, but I didn't get off. Oh, and then the next exit was here and I saw a Burger King, but I didn't get off. You're not thinking of those details, because it's not important to you. You're just selecting the slide. Okay, yeah, my next adventure, I'm gonna go to Disneyland. Boom, here it is. Okay, and then logically it might make sense, but you're not remembering every detail of that unfoldment, because it's not important. Because it's not super important. It's not super important necessarily how you get there, because it's already done, and you just have to expect that everything has already unfolded perfectly for you, and you don't want to put in a negative expectation of how. You don't want to put a time frame on it. You just want to say, okay, this is a slide that I'm looking at. Just like in a lucid dream, if I say now I want to see water, then I'm going to see fucking water. If now in my lucid dream I'm going to go to the cemetery, I'm going to go to the cemetery. It's just you focus on the experience from the beginning of your now point. The end is that the middle is already wrapped up into that, and you are always in the fucking middle of it, but you're not aware of it. You're not aware of it right now, because it's not meant to be important to you, because it's not the experience that you want to have. You don't want to be having an experience just sitting in a fucking waiting room. That's why you don't remember the exact details of a lot of the things that you manifest. You remember the things that you highlighted as important, but the exact fucking trajectory of events, no, because it doesn't matter. So stop making shit that doesn't matter now in the unfoldment, because you're already in the unfoldment. So what are you doing? How to make time pass quicker is to not focus on the time and just say, I'm having the time of my life. It's already unfolded. I'm already in the middle. Once I declare the end from the beginning, I know that I'm in the middle right now. This is the slide that I'm selecting. It's already done. I'm already in it. And as long as you don't take your attention away from that slide that you want to be in, the thing is just going to show up and be like, whoa, oh shit, how did that happen? I guarantee you have examples of this right now where you're like, yeah, I just declared it, and then it was there. Because the middle is not important. You're making the middle important by saying, oh, but the waiting period and the waiting room of life. No, there's no waiting. You're already fucking in it. Because you have the slide, you've summoned the end from the beginning, and it's all done now, so it's already done. So you just expect that it's here now. You're in it. It's like you're selecting the dream. This is what I'm selecting. Okay, boom. And whenever it plays out in the 3D, it plays out. But after it fucking does, and after you have that experience of the person or the money or whatever the fuck it is, you're gonna be like, whoa, how did I even get here? Because the middle is not important. But you're making the middle important now, which is mind fucking yourself. Because you're like, oh, it's so important what I'm doing now. But when you're doing that, you're taking your attention off the fucking end goal, and you're looking at the middle, and you're making the middle important. And because it has the spotlight of God on it, the middle is just going to prolong itself and expand, because you're looking at it and you're making it important. So if God deems something as important, it's going to make that important. Think of it. You wake up in your dream when you're sleeping. You're not like, oh, well, how am I going to do this? And do I need to wake up? Is my body awake? Am I doing this? No, because you do that, likely you're going to fucking wake up out of that lucid dream, and you're going to be like, oh shit, what was that? Because you took your attention off of what was happening in your mind eye right there. And so you snapped out of it. You woke up, and then you're like, oh man, that was such a fun lucid dream. Why'd I come out of it? Because you were fucking trying to overanalyze it, and you were trying to figure shit out in the middle. It's already been made manifest. Everything has already been made manifest. So pick the slide that you want. Understand that it's a dream. And dreams, what are they? They're very malleable. They're very fluid. This is why you can change the trajectory of this lucid dream at any point, because you're lucid in it, right? Because you're aware that you're dreaming, and you are aware that it's coming from your mind's eye. But where's your mind's eye? You can't even put your hands on that, right? But it's coming from there, and you know it's fucking coming from there. So you want to trust the intangible, because it's already been written and you have evidence of this. But in the middle of that intangible unfolding into the tangible, if you're placing too much importance on the middle, you're just going to expand the middle when I've given you examples, it doesn't matter. There's no beginning, there's no end. It's just about the experience that you have. So everything collapses into one. I'm the alpha, I'm the omega, I'm the beginning, and I'm the end. But in this dream of life, it's not really important about the beginning. It's not really important about the end. It's how you're viewing this experience now. So if you're viewing the middle now as something that you don't like, you're going to expand that middle into something that you don't like. But if you're looking at the middle right now and you're saying, well, it's already been unfolding, then that is going to be your experience. So recap, the middle doesn't matter, right? I'm the beginning, I'm the end, okay? The middle is not mentioned because you're already in the fucking middle. Because you're already in the fucking dream and you don't know how you got there. You don't even know the beginning of how you got there. You don't even know the end of what's going to happen after you're out of there, right? Just like birth and death, you don't fucking know. No one fucking knows. I mean, you can speculate, but does anyone know for sure? No. Has anyone said this is exactly what happens? No, it's speculation. I'm the beginning, I'm the end. But the end and the beginning don't matter in the dream because they don't show you the end and the beginning in the dream. You're just in it. So you want to assume that you're just always in it. Even if you're making decorations, this is what I want to see next. You go into it. You just go into it. You jump fucking in all the way. You don't need to test the temperature of the water. You just say, this is the experience. You look at that. You trust that it's already unfolded. The beginning, the end, the middle, it's all the same thing. And you just look at the experience. Just like in the dream, you change the channel. You select the different quantum slide that you want to experience. Oh, I'm going to look here. Okay, it doesn't matter. The beginning, the end don't matter because I'm already in the middle. And because I'm already in the middle of it, I'm already enjoying it right now. The beginning and the end dissolve because that experience, you being so immersed in that experience in your fucking mind, it's just like in the dream. How'd you get there? I don't know, but I'm fucking enjoying it because it's a lit as fuck lucid dream here in the 3D. I hope that made sense.